my yanko share serious interview bia ubi any Agyapong team and the spokesperson yeah my yebu so aden as a proxy ya obetwa mu no eye Bawumia nkrofon kwan eya other 4 candidates in the eye obi ade ntina Bawumia nkwan na ye ne ya ena Bawumia so no esan ye ne support ne bi eya wo hwe obi se Kwame Sefa kan ya te se ya se sa proxy we no omotwam Kwame Sefa kan ya se omotwa sa proxy ni mu ena esan ye Bawumia team fo nyina ya enti witimi no somebody can cut say Kwame Sefa kan dey me no omo hwe ne show no kwa but I don't understand no because what is on dey bia one way nkwa or ye campaign no e di Bawumia straight forward until say minipa Kwame kumatikese ye on dey bia o ma wo dey yen kono hwe Kwame Sefa kan esu na osu e wi a wo san hwe obi o san temi Agyapong ni pass so e wi a be san baba
voting ya di abam dey answer
say every time I be internal primaries, we set up a committee with the presidential election committee.
Okay.
And they say Papa Joe Wise.
Yes.
And I chair the presidential election committee.
Yes.
Now say Omono have the mandate from the party to set the rules for the election. Proxy voting on say Pempi yenyanoma omo amanone no. They have a vote into MPP primaries the external bodies so UK, US, all the countries that have MPP branches have a vote. The Scandinavians, I think there's 3 votes per country. Some of the countries have 6, but what it means is say I will say omono iyinipa eba ebetwabano. Let's say Sweden, 3 people have to come from Sweden to vote. Denmark, 3 people have to come. I think the US and the Americas, because they are bigger, their numbers are bigger. So the number of votes they have, also mutunipa bagana na oba na obe vote in at the election. But in Pempinia na ibia emre any logistics ni ibia nyumenti no omutumi etunipa bako. Any people ba or the proxies while omo aka ho no are voted by proxy. The infant said the Scandinavians now more 12 votes no. Obetumi atunipa bako. No the 11 proxy votes aba.
Okay.
That's why in here said nipa 12 ni na for plain aba. 18 eno na say presidential election committee decided say they will not allow proxy votes. Obia or pesa oto aba no. The dedicated number for that country muntu nipa no na onye den onfa plain emra na ometo abano, and that is what the back and forth is for me.
Kojo mintiase o say obia ewo amanone etimi beto.
No, the number every country and your number dia momo.
Okay, so mbetimi abeto
say the vote as per constitution.
Good. Inti identity fe dia mo se monye bio.
They have the vote. Nobody is saying they are denying them the vote.
So what is it?
As per the constitution, there's a set number of votes country biano ewo. The chairman is saying say Oma Omon Twabao. He is saying say ewo say Oma ba nipane ba in person. They will not allow one person to carry 11 votes or one person to carry 5 votes.
Why?
I know dear Mr. Unya chairman and me. I don't know why. No, in the past we've always allowed. In the last election, the proxies were allowed. Why the proxies not be allowed now? No, and no, I don't know the reason behind it. Fine. He's the secretary to the committee. Unsakana, he can explain a bit further the decision. Oh, there be because I said the pros and cons.
Okay.
I don't think they arrive at it lightly and they just arrive at it. So one person would disenfranchise it. I think there's always a reason. Decision be beba. Me I'm not privy because I'm not part of the committee. Maybe times I can be phone calls be but me try nipa be from Alpha just to get an in-depth. But by the time I be pono, Minsaka yamu no mami information why they decided say omunya proxy nibium no. But I don't think say it will create any problem. Say the one say it is the number of people that have to find the logistics and come. It's not a big deal.
Because Semisha Daily Guide, the Democrat, yes, chairman of Sweden branch, Richard Oti Abuaji say on the petition be on my traba no or no on count or chin with him. It is as if say into a sibi near Juma.
So omono ono ho. So no air back the decision say also biaba. He is backing the decision say proxy ninja because Kwame is also abused. Patro me kase binchro.
Me
US. Let's say let's use the US. Let's say the US has 6 votes. Now omo il fami say me membra na member you're giving me a proxy to vote 6 times because guess what happens? They give you a proxy to vote a certain number of times. And Tinipa Bako na all bano. Or to me vote 6 times. And never said the Scandinavians, no, all the Scandinavian countries have 12 votes. Utunipa Bako and Nipa Munuba. Each will vote 6 times.
Okay.
And Tinipa no koshe butimo vote 6 times. No. Who do you know he votes for? Because Kwame many two bisa membra. Ebia me pay Dr. Bawumia. But ebia ye two mi abano. The decision is that to 3 ma asumesi, not to 2 ema asumesi because that's the decision of their caucus. Near 2 abagana with the proxy. Ube duna ko she boot no. How does anybody know who you vote for? There is a problem I think the chairman of the committee is trying to solve.
Maybe one question. In this day of technology, for technology in Tomaba.
Debbie, I think when it comes to election voting, paper.
Meba.
Yeah, technology problem, meba.
I don't have tech problem.
As Florida, hanging votes, hanging chats. Referee, I'll go versus Bush.
But that was the year 2000.
No, but today, still, America, they are still having problems with digital voting. Election there, Kwame, me say, you need near koyese voting electronic no massa because technology I could do Pensubia. Urefi asame see was it 2016 December Aropana ye nyina ye kogu airport ho ye say dan bi wo ho they are terminating the votes there.
West.
Okay. Maybe a Ghana gas was here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can that sort of misinformation can burn a country.
Yeah.
Intimisraw. Voting there, yeye ne krata ni sa. Ebe boyen pa because I know the gani compromoting team so no be ehu bi. Na say electronic digital enyoma abefo to me ye no. Kwame. Obi be president amount.
Pay na me kind post on your Facebook page say for Team Ken no you are in total support of party decision say proxy voting omu chem for January 31st. Sanet
Bunya Daily Canada na mamema asem no me monotofa na enye nchitia party no election committee no enche kwa no mo ede wonu communication about say afi di mabato e beto no wonu mo ebi proxy vote film na wonu mo reason was high ye wonu mo dey protected the integrity and sanctity of your process, because if you look at the mood of the party, let's say bit of mistrust and the other no, and Tiadibia a bit mistrust, na compromise the integrity of the process, you support it. If you want to buy any who send a council, because any of crown said book. General election will be but we've noticed from previous elections, especially the 2023 general prime minister say Nipan will be there and some money idea, especially through this electoral injustice. One of the ways I want more scheme choose our proxy voting. Of course, we don't want to go into the history in the election. But can they get some data or work in the 2023 prime minister? Bobby, a bear or say, Ushimupa, about 7% of the votes need to have. The Anka and come here, the Coca will be for the idea.
Hey,
Ding na.
how did you know that? Musi den who sir?
Oh, say obey data analysis. Obey data analysis, but I mean sometimes in the name of peace and of course the unity of the party, no. Rebecca said they're more, they're more money than the but I'm telling you, say,
But Kwesi, data analysis when the how people voted in the ballot box, a secret voting, no? How would you know?
Say, baby to say now the year you can call Northie. So confirm voluntarily. Or more a report to say or more can, but the choice zero in any. Unfortunately, the main general election betrayed us because polling stations are almost 200% ma area of Bawumia. In the general election, they all had zero. And we know polling stations, some of them we had constituencies, some of them we had as high as 197, 200 votes. Your own kata said based on yes, your coalition, but you did zero check and data point. And I'm saying, say, if you do a computation of all these figures, you will come to the realization, say, can vote or no, and meaning at the man. Maybe let's say maybe it could be a clerical error. But the point is, say, about why you go to it. We need to make sure, say, we protect the integrity and sanctity of it. And I make us say one of the ways, one more every year, and this scheming and manipulations and maybe let me not even use scheming and manipulation. Let me say compromising the process, through these positive processes. Will be on principle, can the Agyapong team any against for external branches coming to vote. But we are saying there should be a comprehensive approach. So be obey Tima Bankwa, say you say take it a bit camano, and as I said, plain a better a be Europe, a do America, any other. Let's see all their numbers. Democracy has always been expensive. External branches is not a problem. But situations are will be Ghana here, any party Ghana here, so not your more before a handful. You are more before influential individuals. You who say over to our Ken and now on to certain direction. You are more munina now issues of threat and warning and the usu and the remainder unknown for and the side of Ankoto. Over to the assign form we indirectly you assign a proxy for so that they are own quarter. And we have the history from the last election. Before Ghana one more ever two position or more on Nare or Nashi, just because a particular candidate felt that he cannot trust them. Decided you could general influential person be any media. You have to then disclaim your right to exercise your franchise, Mianko proxy. You see, all will distort the integrity of the process. What a booking abu leak audio na apana. I know making allegations very wild one tamper or non a trend or for broadening delegates to threaten them. Imagine say ya sister delegates some ken the only thing they will say is then do proxy. Now you say you indeed have your votes. And these processes and instances anyway will compromise the integrity of the election. And the Pamno channel and one machino across one yanka one with Sadia any proxy in the film. Wow, bit about Toronto. After all, the general elections will be out of 18 million, about 18 million voters, or voter, and indeed, even if we still bring proxy or we don't bring proxy, whichever is not everybody who can still come and vote. But why would we look into OBN and country will be said, will be beating electoral box in the let's say 50 or 70 times because a Nipa 70 or more a right higher the Amano. No proper system of verification or cognitive rules on the after saying and to say that they are that way
rather than banning proxy voting in its entirety, why won't you rather push say proxy voting should be done, but this time you put in all the checks. For example, one person cannot be proxy for more than one other person. Inti obi a person to proxy bia no get a different person now on tomorrow. The situation where one person would be proxy for 30 people, for 10 people, for 20 people, no, should not happen. And put in place measures because again, the right to vote near constitutional and it should not be seen say a fetter is being placed on anybody's right to come and vote. In rather no put in place systems ebema proxy no aye crojin rather than banning it completely. No?
Bobby, right to vote is constitutional. I mean, for.
Yes.
But the exercise of right also goes with responsibilities.
Absolutely.
You can't say, oh, right to vote. You can even renege on your right. At the same time, so wait to take up your right. And at the end of the day, it's a balancing act too. And the balancing act, what is the total effect that we are looking at? The total effect is to have a processor. You bet to for an candidate be could yaw and can't say you see the process we are not process way the SCM. And the day and then if you indeed love the party, won't you mean sorry? Maybe I won't say over to. Of course, won't you mean we don't lose anything, so it doesn't benefit any of the candidates. It doesn't go in favor of A or it doesn't go in favor of B. It is also the more reason why we are saying say one more for one or two reasons, especially in Mabuchi. We also want to why can't you also get a different process of also getting all of them to also come and vote? And Obi, about to young cotton stadium, they will all be in the various constituency. It is all constituency in I think we should have easy ways to go and do it. In any event, Obi, the proxy bow down for proxy amount. Still, people will not even exercise their right to franchise.
Yes.
If you are doing the balancing act and you are looking at the decision at proxima very close to protecting the integrity of our election there. Let me you say we will stand with the decision of the election committee. But I don't know one of the say that question now the petition now because the election committee does not have the right to powers to make the decision. The National Council the into your overturn. But the good thing is that there are other people on also more external branch, or also the counter petition about that petition in if 30, they have more papers, almost no more now where they are not part. When we take it from me, the proxy free man, there is no way that Bawumia will get more than 40% in this election. The proxy free man. The proxy way a way to spin things to favor a particular candidate.
But is that a fair comment to make, especially when you have no basis to make such claims?
Obi, I have given you a history of how Agyapong suffered electoral injustice in the last election. I don't speak in a vacuum.
No.
I'm a lawyer.
I'm not saying you are speaking in a vacuum. I mean, you've not proven say Agyapong diena usuonya zero no. Sa number no. You've not proven say anko eho. Why do you think say called Dr. Bawumia?
Obi, the other contestants, no.
Yes.
One more, if for instance, my analysis is my analysis, let me say about 7% of my votes. Other contestants, why did you up to 7% people?
Yeah, but the basis of 7%, ne crano
are you shifting the goalpost now?
No, I'm not. The basis of your 7% to start with, no, you cannot build something on nothing. The basis of that 7%, ne crano questionable to start with. Analysis, the party didn't put that information out.
Obviously, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the party.
Yes. I
am saying that from the history, and your data analysis, and even shows that last election, the Kennedy and I've given you a figure to that effect. Of course, unless I say it figure, but you have been able to dispute it, or we all reference the figure electoral commission as a party in the Maya. But I'm saying it is not in dispute. You call no for no. In the Edward Mo some of them they had taking pictures of it. Some of them video Motoma Ken in those polling stations and in those constituencies, hence they recorded zero. So that is what's in dispute. One more bina, we had chiefs like Bugrina calling them to threaten them. Obi, when we left Ken free no for no. Our team, our campaign team said the level of intimidation that they were going through, some of them were even facing a threat of banishment. But we want to issue an advice that this time around, we'll stay by the values of the party.
Okay.
We'll make sure that there is a clean, transparent process. we'll make sure we stay united at the party. Because I find that fan cannot just a bunch in made but what we also not show Obi is weakness.
Okay.
I think this time around will not show weakness. On the matter of the proxy, we feel say you free ma and benefit to be yeah the can also be and benefit to be. We should all come from that plain level. You who say the election committee has made a decision. Right now, even if we say we are going by the proxy, it's supposed to say album no money adinina or more provisional album ni adinina, because initially they had made a decision they have to amend it. How many months do we have to listen? Again, one also or more petition against the earlier petition also that honor. Are we also going to give them a right to fair hearing? Are we also going to hear or more a case ana?
Petitioner a supported party decision to ban proxy voting, all right?
Yes. There's another petition. And also support the party, but to ban the proxy. Suppose you're not banned.
Sure.
I am telling you, say, I'm on your 7 year. I did be anywhere, a job anywhere, we should be anywhere, we will be in baby free. We have made our position clear, so we don't support the idea of proxy. Over to Abato, the party should make arrangement, name for Ameto. So maybe a party individual candidates so nyansis no more than matter. Nimum will be a who be paid here. Say a timid proxy, a chinchim nipa binsa, yeah, baby, nipenya, votes, boha, or nabia 95 votes, maybe a 92, maybe a chose zero. Yeah, the highest not stated about for votes, so I feel a general election. Where the board of Bawumia was only when the fundamentals are with the exchange rate to expose you. Who are still on your papa. A general election exposes us. They record 100% in our polling stations. Some polling stations are 55 no more. But they gave them zero in the general elections. Okay,
one final question, Kwesi, would be say, Mr. Honorable Ken, the Director of Elections, which is the Honorable Jojo Rocky Obeng, poster or yeah. So I'm on the third paragraph now. There is a part which says that way, I see in some parts of the country, some chiefs are being used to intimidate delegates. They plan to coerce these delegates to accept, to give their right to vote to loyalists of a certain candidate through proxy. That way, all persons suspected not to be voting for that particular candidate are made to do same under intimidation. This type of rigging happens only by allowing proxy voting. In this case, one person can be a proxy for as many as 30, 50, or even 100 delegates. And that's how proxy voting is used to rig elections before a vote is cast. Should National Council consider the petitions before them and say, okay, we want proxy to happen, but this time, one person can be proxy for one person. And Omobeji Atum.
Obi, that's what I say. It's just the same activity no more undertaken, but this time maybe with a different approach. Because initially, what Jojo's concern are always, Honorable Jojo concern are always say, I said, Kamabugi Nabu, Edia, see, would Yakuyawo, Namoa, Odiakuyawo, northeast way. I will say, or from Kofor to tell them, say, one month to my year, Dr. Bawumia, because only your Mukumi. Uduwa, Yerena Onkotwa. Near Fred Obi, near what science or be poesy. Difference in the Kibia Bako for bit my I pateti. The only difference with your question is say, they repeat the pateti or Mudi, Lady Pateti, as sacrifice of Mubos I had a moment. And at the end of the day, you are still coming back to the square zero. And the best thing they say, one man, one vote, bra, never two, one timam twa, whichever way, now no election of Kotoye, Sasanti with the Nipo. The whole Ghana country raising, which of them say, great Nipa Mobato Yakrana. There was already around 65 to 67%. The whole Ghana Nipa Batoka is in the saying our president. Doesn't mean the president is an illegitimate president. Clearly, no. We are saying, we say, Mobetima Batua, Mometo. We need assistance to come and vote at Mometo. Our target is not even the external branches. There be Omodia, and we are going to be a bit in Daba. But situations are Timamuha, near intimidating for him for Afre, say, Unya, not many, radio Nipa, and you now to my idea, suppose you black, near Pope Yamana Kotono. That is what we want to avoid.
Okay.